everybody, it's Brittany, and today, me and, who are you again? Sweet Dreams Bear, are going to be doing swatches. So, I just finished swatching the emerald one, so my arm is nice and glittery. So, actually it's not really that glittery. Good news, not that glittery. So, now we are going to swatch the Sapphire Obsessions. So, I have not used this one. I did use the emerald one before I actually did swatches. I have not used this one yet. So this will be, I think that the only thing I have actually put my finger in is this green one, because when I got it, I was like, it's kind of yellow. But this is what the inside of this palette looks like. And this is, I'm excited for this one. And should I have done this eye look instead of a green eye look prior? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm still super excited for I'm excited for both of them. So I was. Ooh, this shade's real pretty right here. There. It's like a silvery. You know, I've never really looked in this. Is that sad? It is sad. All right, so I'm just gonna get into this and I'm going to swatch these. And as always, just, you know, and these don't have shade names. Oh, that shade is gorgeous. Ooh, these are so pretty. So these are the first three shades, and this shade here is a little bit patchy, but it's beautiful. I don't care. It can be patchy. Just stay beautiful. Next three. Ooh, that silver at the end that glitter is gorgeous. Oh, I'm so excited to use that on my eye. Like, I kind of want to do my makeup today, even though I have nothing to do and nowhere to go. I have stuff to do and places to go Friday. I can wait. All right, and then, oh, I just dug my nail in that by accident. Excuse you, nail. The last three shades. So right off the bat, I am a little bit disappointed in actually both of these shades, because this one just did not apply nicely at all. Like, I expected more out of Huda Beauty. Is that sad to say? Is that mean to say? I don't know. I just did. So I'm kind of disappointed by this swatch. It is very much patchy. And pigmentation is just not there. And then this one also is not very pigmented. So I'm going to wash these off. Now we are going to get right into brush swatches, and fingers crossed this turns out good. I don't know. You know, I'm going to blend this real quick, because I was having issues in the emerald palette with blending of one of the shades. So I feel like this could be one that could potentially blend out horribly. And it didn't. It's nice. I like that. And let's see if it's buildable. Okay, so it is buildable, and I think that it blends nicely. So I am not upset with that, but I am going to say this right now. It might stain the brush. So be careful. Don't use a Ray Morrissey brush. Won't be fun. All right, this is the next shade. So this one isn't as pigmented as I was hoping. This is also a shimmer shade, and a lot of the time shimmer shades do perform better when they're either the brush is wet or you use your finger, but this isn't a shade that I necessarily would want to use my finger for. This would be a shade that I'd want to put with a brush and smoke it out, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be better. I did find that when I was doing the emerald swatches that some of the shades in there, while I applied it with a brush, didn't apply quite the same way that when I was putting it on my eyes. So it was a lot different than what I was expecting it to kind of show up as. And this one actually, in my opinion, shows up a lot better with a brush swatch. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's because I can get more of the green. It's because here. You see how like it's comparable, but I feel like it comes off almost patchy when you do a finger swatch as opposed to a brush swatch. So keep that in mind. So that is the fourth one. I'm going to do a second coat just to kind of check its opacity. I will say though that this one does perform a lot better than the pastel green one did when I was swatching it, but this palette isn't over with, and there are a lot of shadows in here that I feel like are going to disappoint. Well, there's at least one more, because I can tell you that yellow probably won't perform very nice. We'll see though. Alright, so this is the next shade, and I feel like this is very much more of a foiled shade, and it does have a black undertone, which is why it's giving off kind of that wet look. It's more of a blackened blue with blue glitters. It's pretty, but I don't know. When I actually make the eye look with this, we'll see how everything turns out. This is my favorite shade from this palette, and surprisingly, it does apply decently. I found that with the yellow one from the Emerald palette, that the one that was more of that glitter shade didn't show up very nice. I'm just trying to... The fallout on this is real. But, I did find that... Get off the brush. It was more of like to add glitter to the eye and not necessarily use it as a shade in and of itself. So this one is one of the other shades that I would feel would be more like that, except this has more of like that multicolored glitter in it, and it's pretty and I like it. It is, however, extremely messy if you use a brush. It is all over my desktop. So, no, yeah. Let's go back in it again. Yeah, I'm just... This shade is not... It is applying more of a green. So when I originally swatched it, when I opened it, I was like, this looks more yellow. But I feel like because, it might also be because it's around more of the blues, that it does look more green. But I feel like with the brush swatch, it is showing up a little more green than with the finger swatch, where it looks more yellow, which is kind of interesting. This next shade is that blue, and the brush swatch on this is a lot better. It is more blended. It's not necessarily opaque. It is a matte, but I do feel, here, let's try it again. This is very buildable. We'll see though. I could be wrong, because I feel like I might be wrong already. So it's buildable. It's not necessarily majorly buildable. Like, you're not going to get like complete opaque coloring from it, but it's buildable and it's nice. Might take you a while, but you'll get there. And then the last shade is the shimmery blue. And it looks like this, and this is gorgeous. That is a gorgeous blue. Like, it looks a little patchy though. I think it might be though how I'm swatching it, because I am like up and down and up and down with it, because that's how I always do it. That's a second coat, so you can definitely fix it though. So it's not like one of those, if you put it on, it stays there kind of business. I do like this though. I like how it fades. It's very beautiful. I feel almost like I'm breaking out from that blue. Not breaking out, but like it hurts where I was washing the blue off. I don't know. It could also be, I have a lot of weird stuff going on, so it could be a multitude of things, to be honest, it could be irritating it. But I guess my final thoughts on this one, because this is going to be filmed before I do the eye look, so I'm going to give my final, like, first impressions thoughts on this. My first impression is that these are very, very beautiful. I do love the shades in here. I think they're gorgeous. I love this shade right here the most. I cannot wait to create an eye look and pop that on. I'm a little bit disappointed by this one. It is kind of weird that finger swatching, it pulls more yellow, but brush swatching, it pulls more green. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was wiping the brush off in between, if you can't tell. there's a big giant mess because I use one of these to use it, and then I'll either use water or I will use this Perry and Spirits to get it off, just because I want to be able to wash them between swatches and not ruin my brushes with a color switch. So I do like the shades. Like I said, this one was really disappointing. This one, I think these two here did a lot better brush swatched than finger swatch. Finger swatch, they showed up a little bit patchy, but brush swatching, it just... Creepy Cute wanted to come to play. Sorry. But they blended better. The shade here was a lot better than the pastel shade that we got from the Emerald palette, and this shade here just was lackluster altogether. So, and I was a little bit upset about this shade as well because it does have that black undertone, and I don't like when shades have a black like base, because I feel like when it blends out into like this black muddy mess. And if you are trying to like showcase these vibrant colors, the last thing you want is to have this black based blue that's going to blend out into this like gray. So it just, to me, it's kind of like, why? I would have rather had this either just be more like this shade where it is just sparkle or just glitter, or have it to where it has more of a lighter base, maybe more of a purple base or a blue base. Not that I want it to be duochrome and shift to purple, but I don't like that when it blends out to this black shade. I don't like that. So that's my only complaint, like my two complaints I should say, out of this palette. The rest of the palette is gorgeous. I cannot wait to create an eye look with it. So I'll look forward to, after this video, like a few seconds from now, the eye look. So we're gonna get right into that. I feel like I want to do more of a teal look today. I think I'm gonna have to go navy today. Fine, we'll go navy and we'll smoke it out, and I'll use the teal on the outside. Alright, so I've laid down the base, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do more of a halo eye, I guess. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this navy blue all over the lid and smoke it out. I'll probably smoke out the edges with this tealer shade, maybe this blue shade here. And then I'm just going to pop this shade right here, this silvery shade in the middle, because I really like that shade. Now I'm going to clean up the edges of this, just because I want this to be more of a sharp line. Alright, so this is what we have so far. I've been able to clean it up relatively decently. I have been having issues. This blue that's on here blends really nice, but the problem is that it blends really far and it's very messy. So you have to be very careful when you are using it, because it can get everywhere. So what I did was I ended up taking that tealer shade, just because I did want it to lighten a little bit, and I put it around the eye. Now, if you look at my lids, you can see there's a little bit of patchiness going on, and I don't understand why that is. I mean, it probably doesn't look too bad to you, but in person I can see, like, because I have hooded eyes, where it is, where it like meets the hood of my eye, and that's not a really good look in my opinion. So that's what we have going on currently. Now I'm going to try and take this shade here. Actually, no, I'm going to go into this yellow shade, and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line for more of like a pop of color. The one shade in this entire palette that I was looking forward to doesn't apply nicely. Just my luck. Alright, I'm going to try and wet my brush. I don't like wetting matte shades, but I can't seem to get it to like apply as opaque as I would like it to, so I'm hoping that this might help it a little bit. I also don't like using these, or using wet brushes, because it can seal the pan, and I hate that. But I need a little bit more of intensity. Okay, I think I got it to finally apply. All right, so now I'm gonna go into this silver. Yes, this silver shade. This silver shade, I'm gonna pop it in the middle. Okay, well, my attempt to make that a halo is completely bust. Why? Because this glitter is everywhere. Oh, what is that? Do you see how this is like? I'm having major patching issues now. Do you see that? It literally will not. Oh. See, like this side's fine. But here, let me get a more precise brush. I take a pencil brush. I'm not even gonna tap it off. I'm just gonna. It will not apply. Let's go back in. Okay, well, I got it on, I think. The best way I can, at least. If I'm not even going to attempt to blend it because, oh goodness, it's wearing over here now. I cannot try the silver again, even though it is messy. It's all over my face. I even have the Fenty glitter highlighter on right now, and it's still like, it makes my face look like a mess because it's all under my under eyes. Thankfully, this is just glitter and I can salvage it. I can't salvage it. Not having a good time. You know what? I can't keep playing with this because I swear to God, I'm going to be here all day blending. Trying to fix what this thing keeps breaking all by itself without me even touching it. Okay. So, I'm going to say this right now. Sorry if I have a slight lisp going on. I have invisible braces on, and I am still getting used to them. I used the Smile Direct Club. I have used braces in the past. My teeth shifted when I had wisdom teeth that had to get pulled because they were growing in like this way. So that's why I had to get my wisdom teeth, or why I decided to do it again. But I'm having issues because what they don't tell you is that this thing is huge. Like, it goes all the way up to here, and if you notice, it looks weird around my gums because my gums are currently bleeding because it is irritating my gum line so bad. Not only that, but because they're so large, the sides of my tongue hurt from living, not even talking a lot. The sides of my tongue hurt because there is a lip inside. And then, not only that, but I'm also developing cuts on this part of my mouth, like here and here, because of it, because they're rubbing. So I'm hoping this is an adjustment period and that eventually it will get better, because at this point it hurts to take them off, it hurts to put them on. I told my husband I am now currently on a diet because I have to pick and choose when I'm willing to take them out.
No red vines.
We're not talking about red vines. But anyways, with that being said, I guess my final thoughts on this palette is that I feel like at least for the look that I came up with, while I am okay with it, I'm not happy with it. It's this blue shade. I don't know why it's not applying to the corner of my eye and why I had to use so much effort to get it to show up. The one silver shade in here that I really do like, it's very messy, and I didn't know that going into it, and I'm that person who does their base first. So that was upsetting. And then as far as the other shades, the green is the one that I bought this palette for. That was disappointing because it does not show up very well. But I haven't played with the rest of this palette yet, and I did do kind of an intense eye with this navy, so I feel like if I did use this navy for more of a concentrated area and wanted just that pop of color using this navy, that it would be good for that. But as far as like this eye look goes, this blue is not very good for it, and this teal shade pretty much is lost in the blue. So it blended nicely. It looked nice until the blue under it got a hold of it and blended it completely away. So I'm just going to finish up this eye look. I'm actually going to apply some of my Miracle Fenty highlighter to the middle of the eye to kind of intensify that shade there, because the silver in here just isn't cutting it. So I'm got to go in the real world. I can't just leave it the way it is. All my brushes, by the way, now have to get washed because that blue is just death to brush. Anyways, I'm going to also use a new mascara, but I'm going to be switching out the brush because this is a nano one, and I want to check the formula, but I don't like that brush shape, so we're gonna try it like with this brush. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to deal with the fact that I have a giant glitter face. Not happy with that. As far as the mascara goes, I feel like it does take a hot minute to dry down. I don't like that. I'm already having transfer and it's making me angry. Thankfully, you can't notice it within the navy. My final thoughts of this palette is that it's got a lot of color differences within it. The application on the ones that I used was not very good, in my opinion. The green palette, I did have a couple of issues with as well, but that one, at least for the most part, was good. This one, out of the 3 shades that I used, or I should say, the 4 shades that I used, 3 of them didn't perform right. So the green, I had to wet my brush on a matte shade to get to show up on my eye. With the blue, it is very messy. It gets everywhere, and I'm having patching issues. And then with the silver, it has a lot of fallout. Like, I was having major issues getting it on my eye. The only reason that I look like I kind of have a halo eye going on right now is because I went into my Fenty Beauty highlighter and added more. So my final thoughts on this one is that if you were looking at this one as maybe your staple blue collection, I personally would pass on this one and try to find one that is better. Now, the price on this isn't bad. They're $27, so it's not like they're super expensive, and it might work for you better than it has worked for me, and I wish my bra strap would work better for me as well. But all in all, I don't feel comfortable recommending you go out and buy this specific palette, considering I did have a lot of issues with the shades that I used. Like I said, out of 4 shades that I have used on my eye, 3 of them gave me issues. For one, various, and all different issues. Like, the blue is patchy, the silver is messy, and the green is not very opaque. So that's why I say they're all different issues, and it's within the same palette. So that's why I don't feel comfortable saying that this is a palette that I recommend to you. But I need to find a better blue palette. If I can find a better one, or one that I like more, I will try to show you guys that one. But if you're looking for an all blue palette, I guess this is what you have to go for, and the price isn't horrible. So I don't know how the rest of the shades perform. I am going to have to go back and use the other ones. Maybe the other ones are great and it's literally 3 out of 9, which is still a third of the palette and not very good. But if the rest of them perform amazingly, it can salvage this entire palette, in my opinion. So I guess I'll have to wait and see. I will be keeping it, but that's because I collect them. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back for more. I love you all, you beautiful unicorns. Mwah. Now I gotta try to fix this. Oh my god, it's transferring.